Alright guys, we are back with another YouTube video, and today we're talking about why you should be working out, why you should be doing exercise on the daily, and you should be doing like a mixture of exercise, different types, that kind of thing. So first of all, why you should be working out, and this is very important, and it's sort of a foundational step in building your character and building your foundation as a person. So first of all, you've got to build a sort of physique, especially as a man. You've got to build a bit of a physique so you're looked upon with a bit more respect. You see a skinny person or you see an overweight fat person, you just immediately have a different kind of feeling about them. You don't show them with as much respect, and I know that's not how the world should work. It's really tough, but in fact it is how the world should work, because it's having a good physique is something that's hard to attain. It's proof that that person is willing to work for something, and it's something you can't pay for. You've got to work hard to get a good physique, and by attaining that good physique, you're showing to everyone else that you're willing to work, you're willing to put in the time, the effort, and not make the excuses. You're willing to be consistent with not only your training but with your diet as well to attain a good physique and to get an end result. You're willing to do what it takes to maintain it. And that will, so just by seeing someone with a good physique, you can already pick out a few things by seeing that they've achieved that. So you can say, okay, they've got consistency, they've got discipline when it comes to this. They know what they're doing in the gym, they've put in the effort, and this shows that they can implement this in other areas of life. They may just need to be taught how to do so. So first of all, it sets a good representation and first impression of yourself, because when people see you, especially as a man, and you've got a good physique, you make a good first impression. People think that you've worked hard. People associate being good, having a good physique, being in good physical shape with almost they represent it and they associate it with being disciplined, being hardworking, being consistent. So by having that, it gives you those traits. It makes other people think you have those traits, and it's most likely that you do have those traits because you've achieved that physique. So first of all is how you're looked at, how you're perceived by other people. Second is how you're going to perceive yourself. So with a good good physique, you're going to look at yourself with a lot more respect. You're going to feel a lot more confident, and that's going to bring a whole boatload of things which are going to help you progress in so many different areas. Now, what I mean when I say this is you're going to feel so much more confident. You're going to carry yourself a whole lot better when you've got that good physique, when you've built that muscle, because you know that you're physically able. You know you can do other things that some people can't, that most can't. And this comes with weight training and achieving that good physique, and it comes with boxing and being competent when it comes to fighting and combat. So having the thought, having the knowledge that you know how to handle yourself both physically and in combat. So you know how to de-escalate a situation, you know how to handle a situation if it may get physical, and you have confidence in yourself that if it were to get physical, you could handle it, because you're a strong person who knows how to fight. And by doing this, so you've then got that confidence, and when it comes to someone approaching you and confronting you about something, you aren't as scared. You don't have that feeling of worry, that feeling of, oh, what do I say, what do I do? Because you have the confidence. You realise I can protect myself here, because this is what Andrew Tate says, every form of confrontation has a word of, or has a sense of physicality behind it, and you've got to be prepared if you're going to confront someone that it may get physical. And obviously that's not going to happen every time, and it's probably very rare nowadays that it will happen, because no one wants to fight. But having the ability and the knowledge to fight is so important, because when it comes to being confronted and that other person is, say, small, scrawny, and just doesn't have a good stature, they've got bad posture, they don't speak clearly, they don't accentuate their voice, they don't pronounce their words properly, you don't think of them as someone that can represent themselves properly. You lose that respect for them, and then you have more confidence over them because you're like, I can do all of these things better than that person, so I am better. And obviously I'm not saying you should walk around the world saying that you're better than everyone else, but when you've achieved you've achieved all these things, but a good physique, knowing how to fight, you've been in a fight, and you've done well in all of those aspects, you start to think of yourself differently, and you start to realise that you are valuable to yourself. You've made a lot of progress, you've done a lot more than practically everyone else on the planet, and you are more able than a lot of other people on the planet. So just to wrap up those 2 points, is how you view yourself and how other people view you. Next, obviously, there's health benefits to working out, to doing lots of exercise. So from doing weight training, it's going to help with your bone density, it's going to help with your muscular strength, and it's going to help with the function of all your heart and your muscles that you use for breathing and movement and that kind of thing. So you're less likely to get injured, and everything's just going to function a lot better, and it's going to help with the production of hormones. Another thing is doing lots of cardio, so whether it be sprint training or long distance running, you're going to be training your cardiovascular system, so your heart and your lungs, and you're going to develop all the veins and arterioles in your body so that blood is transferred, blood nutrients and oxygen is transferred a lot better, a lot more efficiently, and then your body's going to be able to function better. So obviously then there's the health benefits. Those are the health benefits. Your body's going to function better, you're going to feel better, you'll have more energy, you'll feel more awake, more alert, and you'll feel better about yourself, because when you exercise as well, you get release of lots of hormones which are really beneficial towards how you feel, towards how your mind works. You get lots of good dopamine, which is going to help you feel better and help you kind of realise how training is helping your mind. So how you think of yourself, how others think of you, there's the health benefits, and then there's the discipline involved. And I feel like this is one of the most important things when it comes to training. It is being able to train when you feel like it, when you don't feel like it. If you have to train, you have to train, and you go and do it no matter what. And I'm starting to adopt this now, which is training every day. So 4 days a week I'll do weight training, 2 days a week I'll do sprint training, and 1 day a week I'll do a long run. So I've just started this week, and it's only Monday, so we're not too far into it just yet, but that's what I plan to do for the foreseeable future. And I'm going to start doing some sort of combat sports again, so I can develop myself in that area again and start pushing myself there. So instead of doing 2 days of sprint training, I'll do 2 days of boxing and sprint training, or Muay Thai, whatever I feel like doing. So that's just the discipline of training every day, doing something difficult every day, is going to help you with whatever else you do throughout the day as well. So if you've gone and you've done a really hard, intense session in the morning with weights, and you've pushed yourself super, super hard, and you've gone to failure on every set, or you've gone and done a boxing session in the morning, you've trained really hard, you did some sparring, you fought other people, then when it comes to any other task throughout the day, it's going to be easy in comparison if you push yourself properly during that session. So let's say you've got to make a few cold calls for your outreach, for your sales. You do those calls, and you're just talking to someone, you're just trying to persuade them to do whatever it is, to buy that product. You're not going to fight them, you're not trying to lift that really heavy weight, you're just talking to someone, and it's easy in comparison. So you've got to, by doing all of this hard training and being disciplined with it day in, day out, train every day, you're going to develop this sense of discipline, which is going to allow you to do whatever you want, because you won't be intimidated by a small task. It won't be difficult for you to say no to people that want you to do other things. You're going to be like, training is the hardest part of my day because I push myself and I do it every day without fail. So when it comes to training, I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to do really well at it, and then anything else I do throughout the day is easy because of how hard I've trained, because of how much I push myself when it comes to training. And obviously some people don't struggle with their training, they enjoy it a lot more than they'll enjoy their work, but physically it'll be more physically difficult and more physically straining than doing a mental task and that kind of thing. So you'll be able to look at it and you'll think, I can't get hurt by doing this mental task, it's not going to injure me. I've gone and risked myself, my physique, and risked injuring myself doing all this weight training and doing all the runs and doing all the fighting. I've gone and risked myself, and now I'm just doing a simple, easy task, which is doing cold calls, doing outreach, messaging people, whatever job it is you do. In comparison, that's easy to constantly risking yourself every day with a physical challenge, because that you're putting yourself on the line of getting injured and getting hurt, and then when you come to doing another task, like, this is easy, I can do this easy. I've gone and done sparring today, or I've lifted this new weight. So this small thing here, this is easy for me. And you start to realise that it brings in the feeling of proudness and gratification for how far you've come. You start to realise how much improvement you've made and how much you're actually capable of when you start to get rid of all the limiting beliefs. So staying consistent, training every day, and staying disciplined with whatever it is you do. So, and getting the hardest thing out the day, which I recommend being your training, and you push yourself every day with that training. You do it to the highest of your ability. It doesn't have to be 5 hours of training. I only train for 45 minutes to an hour now when I'm doing weights, maybe an hour and a half if it's a leg session, if it's a long leg session. But every other session is 45 minutes, and it doesn't take me very long, but I train with absolute unfathomable intensity. I push myself to failure every set. I get someone to spot me, or I'll use a machine where I can rack it or stop the movement halfway, so that I can then do half reps at the end. So I've done as many full reps as I can, and then I'll do all the way up to 95% range of motion, 90%, 70, 50, and then just fully to failure. So I only have to do one set, but I know in that one set I've given it my absolute all with what I'm doing. So that's the discipline and the consistency aspect of it. And training itself is going to help you progress mentally so much more than you'll think. Like, everyone just thinks going to the gym, it's just to build a good physique. It's not. Going to the gym provides you with so much more than just a good physique. You build the foundation of what is needed to develop yourself in every other aspect. You build the self-respect, you build the discipline, you build the ability to carry yourself, to carry yourself properly and proudly. You build the physique that gives you good opportunities through meeting new people, setting good impressions. And by doing all of this, just by training, just by developing that good physique and carrying yourself a little bit taller, pushing your chest out a bit more, lifting your chin up, having your head held high from doing that training, you realise you're worth more, and therefore other people start to realise that value. They're like, he's gone and put in all this effort, I would like to see what he can do in this aspect. And then you might get a job offer because someone's like, I'm really impressed with what you've done here, would you be interested in doing this? And I'm not saying that's going to happen, it's not definite that you're going to get a job offer, but you have a lot of people underestimate what is possible from just building such a good physique, that people look at you and they think, wow, that's impressive. This person's obviously put in a lot of effort here, a lot of discipline. It's taken them a lot of time to build this physique or to get to this stage. So now I'm impressed by them and I want to work with them, I want them to do something for me. So you earn people's respect without even going out to earn it. The goal should be to earn your own respect from yourself and to build a physique that makes yourself proud. But in the process of doing that, other people look at you and think, that's amazing, that's awesome, he's impressed me, this person's impressed me, he's developed this, he's done that, he's put himself out there and challenged himself day in, day out, and he's done it. And it gives you a new perception of life, a new view, because you can see yourself improving day after day. So that's it for today. I just want to say thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again tomorrow.